Hey everybody, Shep here. Well, today is November 7th and I'm harvesting my grain sorghum. So I want to take a quick minute here to say thank you to my new subscribers. I've picked up several because of my chicken coop videos and my corn harvest video. So I really appreciate that. I'm glad you guys found that my videos are worth watching. So I haven't posted a video for a little bit. To be honest, haven't really had a whole lot of stuff that I've been doing around here at the homestead. I've been busy with other obligations. So I do have the chicken coop finished. I need to still put the fencing up around it, and I plan on doing that next weekend. So once I get that up, I'll have a final reveal video of the chicken coop project. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm glad that it's finally finished. So this here is my grain sorghum, also called Milo, and I could have harvested it sooner, but I've just had so much going on that I'm just now getting around to it. So it did not like that cold spell we had. We've actually had some really nice weather here. When I made my corn video, at the end of that, it got cold and was cold for a little bit, like unseasonably cold. And then here lately, it's been really nice weather, up in the 70s some days. So anyway, there's not really a whole lot to this. It's not going to be a super in-depth video, but here I've already done this row and probably about a third of the second row here. Basically what I'm going to do is just go in and cut the seed heads off, and then once I do that, I will bundle them up and I'll hang them on tobacco sticks in my barn. I'll show how I do that as I get along with it. This is an organic variety, or not, I'm sorry, not organic. Actually, I think the seed was certified organic when I bought it, but that's not why I bought it. It's heirloom. That's what I meant to say, heirloom. It's called Martin Milo, is a variety of it if anybody's interested. And it varies quite a bit in color. You've got some of it that's white, but a lot of it's this orangey red color is what most of it is. But there's a lot of white out here too. So yeah, like I said, there's not a lot to this. I'll show you how I cut this off and kind of a little bit of the process, and we'll catch you back here in a minute. Okay, so now we're seeing some of the seed heads close up, and I thought I would take a minute to talk about this if you're not familiar with grain sorghum. Now, where I live at in Indiana, I've never seen it growing in any fields around here. It's definitely not something that's mainstream in agriculture around here or in any of the local nearby places I've been. But the reason I grow it is because I feed it to my chickens. They really like it. And to be honest, as far as stuff you can grow for your chickens, grow your own feed for your chickens, it's very, very easy to do. I planted this with my corn planter using sorghum plates. And it's pretty much, you grow it like corn. I put nitrogen on it like I did corn, not as much, but I did put some, and it's done really well for me. I've grown it a couple years now, and it's just done good for me. There's what you can do with it. Last year I took it, and once you cut the seed head off, an easy thing to do is you can just take your hands and rub it like this, and the seeds fall off. Sorry. And you can thresh it that way. Or what I've been doing is just throwing the whole seed head to the chickens, and they take care of doing it. I will use the hand method and thresh some of it for some seeds for next year, because like I said, it is heirloom, so I will be able to plant it. I will be able to plant it year after year as long as I save seed. So I like that about it. But as far as harvesting goes, it is not complicated. So I like to grab one. You can see this is a particularly tall one, and just cut it with just a pair of little pruners like you'd use to prune shrubs or whatever, and just leave it about that long. That way you got a nice area here where you can bundle them up and make a bunch of them. So that's really all there is to it. I'm not wasting my time cutting really like small ones, just because I've got really I've already cut about a third of what I need. So I've got way more out here than I really need. So I'm just gonna bush hog it. And the great thing about it is that birds love it. It's if you buy bird seed to feed birds, wild birds, it usually has a lot of this in it. And I've always loved birds and used to do a lot of bird watching. So I'm just gonna let them have it. All right, well, I'll bring you back here after we've cut a little bit. Okay, so I got a little bit cut here. Putting it in bundles, there's really not a lot to it. I'll put a couple rubber bands on my wrist. Obviously, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just kind of make a bundle like that. Put a rubber band on it. Wrap it on there a few times. And that's pretty much it. It ain't rocket science, although I'm having a little difficulty trying to do it on camera. But yeah, so that's a bundle. If this was wheat, I know it would be called a sheaf, so I don't know if it's still technically called a sheaf, but either way, it's a bundle of sorghum. So now when I take this, and we'll see this here in a minute, but when I hang it up in the barn, all I'll do is kind of split it in two and hang that on a tobacco stick like that. But I'll show you that here in a minute. Last year I did this, and instead of rubber bands, I used twine to tie it, which cutting the twine and just messing with it was, I don't want to say it was an aggravation, but it was a lot more work than a rubber band. So I don't know, obviously, how well the rubber band will hold up this winter. So no more of these than I've got. I may go and put some zip ties on them. I'm not sure. I probably will, because last year when I tied some, eventually some of them kind of got looser, I guess, as they dried, and they kind of started to slip, and some of them fell apart. So like I said, I'm not going to have a ton of these, so I may just put some zip ties on them and not have to worry about them at all. So we'll bring you back here when we're hanging some of them up. Okay, so now I'm down here in the lean-to on a pole barn, and you can see how I've been hanging these bundles of sorghum up. So I'm just using a tobacco stick. Those of you that are not familiar with the tobacco stick, used to in this part of the country, a lot of tobacco is grown, and pretty much every farm had a tobacco base. And you at the time, nothing produced. You couldn't produce as much money on as little piece of ground as you could on tobacco. Just a very good cash crop. But like with everything else, they've kind of ruined that industry and made it to where nobody can really do it very easily anymore. But anyway, so around here anyway, tobacco sticks are very easy to come by. I've got several bundles of them that I got from an old barn that was getting tore down, that somebody I knew had. So I've got more than I will ever use, but every once in a while I find some good uses for them. and that's what I'm doing here. So as you can see, I've just kind of split them in two a little bit and hang them up there. And the way I've got them hung, I've just got them one end of them hung. I'd really like to make a thing where you could hang both ends on it. That'd be a lot stronger than this, because I've just got it hanging on this this shelf here that I built to hold some hay. But six bundles fit on it pretty good, and that's just what I'm doing. So kind of back up here. So I'm basically just going to be harvesting sorghum till I fill up this area across. So right now I've got like four and a half sticks there, and put another maybe 5 more up there and I'll be done. I did not cut very much today. I don't like the time change. You know, it gets dark like 5:30 right now. Soon it'll be a lot earlier. So there's not really a whole lot of time in the evening to really get anything done. But that's the way that I harvest this sorghum on my homestead. And then when I go to give it to chickens later on, or do whatever I want to do with it, I'll just take a bundle down and separate it and either thresh it or feed it to the chickens whole. It's, you know, right now it's dry, and hanging it like this in the barn like this will keep it dry. So not really a whole lot that can go wrong. Sometimes little birds get in here and nest on the hay, and they might eat a little bit of it, but I've got plenty, so I'm not really worried about that. Well, I hope you guys like this video. This is I don't really know anybody else that grows sorghum, so might be something different you've never seen before. So if you have any comments, I'd be happy to answer them. If not, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys later.